Hello, good day. How are you today? You're good, right? Okay. Are you ready for today's lesson? You are? That is good. Today in mathematics, we're going to be looking at collection and presentation of data. Okay? Our topic for today in mathematics is on collection and presentation of data. Are you ready for the lesson? You're with your books and your pencils or pen to get into today's lesson, right? Okay, that is good. So data can be collected through methods like surveys, observation, or experiments. And the presentation methods include tables, graphs, and charts. Okay, so you can collect data through methods like surveys, gathering information through structural sets or questions. You can collect data through observations, watching and recording data without direct interaction. That is it, right? Experiment, to observe and collect data under controlled conditions. So this is how you collect information. This is how you collect data, okay? You ask people things. That is survey or questions. You ask people things. Observation, you watch and write down what you see. An experiment, test things and note the results, right? Then the presentation method includes tables. In tables, you organize data in rows and columns. Then in graphs, we have the bar graphs. You use bars to show data. We have the line graphs. You connect points to show trends. We also have pie charts, right? Use circles to show parts of a whole. We have pictorial charts. You use pictures to represent data. All these are how you present your data, okay? How you represent your data. Do you understand? Now let's look at an example. This is a table. We created a table that shows the frequency of each hobby. Let's say you went for data collection and you use the survey method, which is creating a set of questions about asking your fellow students about their favorite hobbies, okay? What is your favorite hobby, or how many hours per week do you spend on your favorite hobby? All those questions, right? Then one person says reading, another person says reading, another person says sports, another person says drawing, another person says game. Each of them have different hobbies. And when you are done writing out the numbers, then you accumulate them together. You look at reading. How many persons said reading? If they're up to 20, you write 20. You look at sports. How many persons are sports? 10. Drawing. How many persons say they love drawing? That is their hobby. 8. How many persons said gaming? They love playing game instead. 15. So this is the frequency, okay? Do you understand? So now we are going to be representing this table data information we got in a bar graph, okay? So you draw out the first line and draw out another line. This is how a bar graph looks, okay? So under it you write reading, sports, drawing, gaming, or if it's not any of this you ask, any of the things you ask, you write them down, then put the frequency, the numbers, okay? You can see reading is the highest. Most persons prefer reading. Then the next is sport. Sport is 10. You draw your bar up to 10, okay? Then the next is drawing, you draw it up to 8. 8 is before 10, so it should be a little bit lower. Then the next is gaming. Gaming is 15, you draw your bar up to 15. So this is how you present your data which you have collected in the bar graph, okay? There are different ways you can represent your data. You can present your data. You have the line graphs, pie charts, pictorial charts, okay? You can use any of those methods to present your data. Do you understand? So now we are going to be looking at mean, median, and mode of grouped data. When you collect your data and you want to find the mean, median, and mode, which is the average of that data, the middle of that data, and the most frequent of that data, in a group data, there is a formula you use, okay? The main formula for a group data is the sum of fx over the sum of f. Here is the frequency, x represents the midpoint. We're going to use this formula to help us understand how to use it, okay? Then to calculate the median is L plus bracket the sum of f over 2 bracket close minus CF over F times C. This is the formula you use to calculate a median for a group data, okay? The mode is the most frequent, right? So now we're going to be looking at an example to help us calculate. Here we have example 1. You have a data representing the ages of students in a class, grouped into age ranges. Calculate the mean, median, and mode. So this is the age range and this is the frequency. 12 to 14 in a class, there are 8 persons. Let's say that, okay? 15 to 17 in a class, there are 12 persons. 18 to 20, there are 10. And 21 to 23, there are 6. So we have to calculate the mean, the average, and look for the median, the middle, and the mode most frequent, okay? So we're going to be using our formulas we looked at earlier to solve this. Remember, the formula for mean is the sum of fx over the sum of f. We have f, which is the frequency. Now we don't have x. X represents the midpoint. X represents the midpoint. And to get the x, which is the midpoint, is 12 plus 14 divided by 2, okay? The lower boundary plus the upper boundary divided by 2. 12 plus 14 divided by 2 is going to give you 13, okay? So the midpoint of 12 and 14 is 13. Do you understand? We move to the next age range. 15 plus 17 divided by 2 is going to give you 16. 18 plus 20 divided by 2 is going to give you 19. 21 plus 23 divided by 2 is going to give you 22. I hope you're not confused. We are looking for x, which is the midpoint, okay? The midpoint of this age range, okay? And when looking for the midpoint, is the lower number plus the upper number. 12 plus 14. 12 is the lower number and 14 is the upper number. Okay, 12 plus 14 divided by 2 is going to give you 13. This is an example. Then you move to the next one. 15 plus 17 divided by 2 is going to give you 16. You move to the next one. 18 plus 20 divided by 2 is going to give you 19. The next one, 21 plus 23 divided by 2 is going to give you 22. So I've gotten the midpoint. Okay, so now what we are looking for in the mean next is the sum of fx. Fx is f times the midpoint. That is f times x, okay? We are looking for the sum of fx. So now we are going to create a column for fx, okay? Fx column, that is frequency times the midpoint, f times x, okay? So 8 times 13 is going to give you what? 104. 12 times 16 is going to give you 192. I hope you're with your calculator calculating. 10 times 19 is going to give you 190. 6 times 22 is going to give you 132. Do you understand that? We are looking for the sum of fx. So we created a column for fx, which is frequency times x, frequency times the midpoint, okay? So the first column we have 8 and the midpoint is 13. So 8 times 13 is 104, okay? When you have created the fx column, f times x. So 8 times 13 is 104. The next column, 12 times 16 is 192. The next column, 10 times 19 is 190. Next, 6 times 22 is 132. So we have gotten our fx, but we are looking for the sum of fx. So we are going to add everything we got to get our answer, okay? 104 plus 192 plus 190 plus 132. When you add these together, your answer is going to be 618. Okay? So we have gotten the sum of fx. Remember how we did it? How we got the fx, right? First, we looked for the midpoint, which is x, the age range, the lower boundary plus the upper boundary divided by 2. We got the x, which is the midpoint. Then to get fx, we multiply the f, which is the frequency, times the midpoint, which is x. We got fx. Then we added our numbers we got to get the total. We had 618. So we have gotten the sum of fx, which is 618 over, we are looking for now the sum of the frequency. We are going to add everything in the frequency. 8 plus 12 plus 10 plus 6. When you add everything here, it's going to give you 36. Okay, so we have 618 divided by 36. 618 divided by 36 is going to give you 17.16. Okay, so our answer is 17.16. So this is our mean. Now to get the median, you remember our formula, L plus the sum of f over 2 bracket bracket close minus CF over F times C. L here represents the lower class, okay, the lower boundary of the median. Then the sum of frequency over 2 minus CF is the cumulative frequency. We are going to be calculating for the cumulative frequency over F, which is the frequency, times C. C represents the class size or class width, okay? Do you understand? Good. So now we are going to be looking at the values, the numbers we are meant to input into this formula, okay? First, let's get the cumulative frequency. How do we get the cumulative frequency? This is the frequency table, okay? So you create another column for the cumulative frequency. Now, how do we get the cumulative frequency? The first frequency you have here is 8, so you write 8. Then you add 8 plus 12. When you add 8 plus 12, you have 20. So you write out 20 in the next column. Then 20 plus 10 again. The next frequency is 30. You write down 30. And 30 plus 6, which is the next one, is 36. You write down 36. So you can see that the cumulative frequency is the same with the total frequency, right? It landed at 36 and the total frequency is 36. So I've gotten our cumulative frequency table. Now let's look for L. L is the lower boundary, right, or the lower class, like we said earlier. And how do we get this? We have 36 as the total frequency. So what is the midpoint, the middle point of 36? What numbers are the middle of 36? We have two numbers in the middle of 36, okay? There are two numbers as the middle of 36. We have 18 and 19. Anytime you have even number as your frequency, the midpoint, the middle number is two numbers, okay?